It's holy matrimony, love wrapped in grace, honesty the cornerstone, openness embrace, transparency the power to make it through, Christ in the center, making all things new. Welcome to the base camp.
Welcome to Marriage Basecamp, everybody. This is Robert and
Shelly.
And we are here today. And today what we're going to talk about is why every marriage needs a base camp. Because it's a place to reset, refuel, prepare. Every great climb, every great adventure, every great hiking trip, outdoor, whatever it is, begins at base camp. Because that's where you check your gear. It's where you make a plan. It's where you get ready for what's ahead. Mm-hmm. And in marriage, very similarly, a base camp is a place that you can come back to. Like when the altitude changes and you're not prepared for it, you don't have the gear or whatever it is, it gets a little scary. Base camp is that place that you can come back to when life gets hard, or when you look up and you realize that, hey, it's been 5 years, we're drifting apart, or it's been 10 years and we're very much drifted apart. So like when you go on a hike, if you try to summit too quickly, if you're just like, I'm going to go all in, and what's going to happen is you're going to run into some serious problems like exhaustion, disorientation, etc. Okay. In marriages, that happens very similarly. Like in a marriage, if you try to summit, in other words, if you go into marriage thinking, hey, we're going to be happily married for 30, 40 years, and it's just going to be great, and we don't have to do anything, and it's just going to be great because we married the right one. Yay. If you try to summit that way in marriage, you're going to run into similar problems: exhaustion, disorientation, maybe even disconnection. And so that's why we're talking about base camp.
Yeah, that's very all true. And base camp, it's not where you're going to stay, but like you said, that's where you get strong together. It's where you prepare for what's ahead. It's where you get training on your gear. It's where you train. It's where you get your oxygen. It's all the things you need to prepare for the hike.
Think about this. Like oftentimes and every one of them's a little different, but sometimes there's people there who have taken that journey before. And so you're sitting around, it's the day before, it's the night before the big ascent or whatever it is. And there's people there who have taken that ascent multiple times. And so they can tell you, hey, don't go to that right after the tree. Don't go right. You're going to want to go right.
Right.
Don't go that way. So, it's helpful in that way. So this podcast is sort of our version of base camp for couples. That's the plan. That's the hope. That's the prayer, is that this place is a safe place for couples, a place to pause, refocus, prepare for whatever terrain is facing, whatever you're facing next in your marriage. Right. And so some couples right now, you're on a nice flat trail. It's that really soft, smooth ground, and you don't even have to look very much. You just know exactly where you're going. Some couples are on a steep incline, and some couples, honestly, you're on that rocky hell's half mile decline, that one small step, one wrong step, there's that cliff. And you or both of you are going over.
Somebody's going over
that thing. And so, yeah.
So
whether your marriage feels like you're climbing Mount Everest or if you're just hiking a local trail, welcome to the base camp. We want to begin by sharing just a little bit of our story and why we started this podcast. And so our story started long before we knew what Marriage Basecamp would be, or before we even had an idea or a vision for that. We've been married. This year, we celebrated 28 years.
Yeah.
This past week, in fact, we celebrated 34 years together. We started dating 34 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's a bit. So we have seen a lot of terrain, from smooth trails to steep climbs, everything in between. And over the years, what we've realized is that no couple actually escapes the hard stuff. Nobody gets all the way through this thing untouched, unscathed.
Right.
Nobody gets lucky in marriage. If you see a great marriage, I promise you, it's because they worked at it. They did the hard work. They put in those reps when nobody else was watching. And so, and when I say nobody makes it, what we mean when we say nobody makes it is not just we stayed married.
Right.
We know a lot of those couples.
Yeah, they're kind of miserable.
They've been married, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, longer. And they think, oh, we did this well simply because we never got divorced. We never separated. Well, maybe, but maybe, like you said, maybe they're just miserable.
Yeah.
Maybe they're that couple at the restaurant that you see and neither one of them are talking to one another.
They're just
and
looking at their phones.
looking at their phones or everybody else. And it's like, okay, well, I guess you made it, like
kind of more like roommates than
yeah,
actually married.
for sure. So we're going to use in this whole process, we're going to use a lot of mountain metaphors, which is odd because we live in Nebraska. And if you're not familiar with the geography of our country, think what's the furthest away from a mountain? And then that's Nebraska.
We have Mount Crescent.
We do have mountain. Well, that's in Iowa, not
That's
too far
technically
away.
Iowa. That is true.
And mountain is used very generously.
Hill, more of a hill.
Yeah. So anyway, but we're going to use a lot of metaphors because we ourselves, we love the mountains. We love outdoors. We love being in nature, and we've done it a lot. It's kind of our happy, safe place. And so that's that's what we know. And so we're going to be talking about that a lot in order to help marriages.
Yeah, we've been able to lead retreats and do premarital counseling and really just walk with couples through some really tough seasons. And we just kind of want to do the same thing here. And this is just a time for you to take a break, pause, breathe, get back on the trail. Because like you said earlier, we tend to get lost. We get in these routines and we get in our own schedules and we're 15 years down the road and you realize we got off trail somewhere. And so you need to get back. And so just emotional, spiritual, just practical ways to find your way back to the trail. And we want to help in that process.
So you ready for a trail story?
Sure.
So I need to share kind of where all this began. Shelly and I have obviously, for a long time, been interested in helping couples, helping marriages. Even way back in the youth ministry days, we cared about the parents,
right,
almost as much, if not more sometimes, than the kids.
Yeah.
And but here's the deal, we weren't married very long back then.
Right.
And so not a whole lot of people were coming to us with sage-like wisdom, saying, please tell us what to do, because we had to get some time under our belt, and we feel like we've gotten some time under our belt now.
Yeah.
So anyway, quick.
I don't think I would have listened to myself though then anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't have much wisdom. It took some.
I'm not touching that one. Those were your words, not mine.
We've grown in wisdom.
Yeah.
There we go.
So let me tell you the story how this began. So in 2000, right in the height of COVID and everything, I took a sabbatical. It was a planned sabbatical, and part of that was me going out to Colorado. And actually, Shelly and I both went out there for a week, and then she flew back home to Omaha to take care of the kids, and I just stayed out there for, I don't know, another week or so. And my whole purpose was to just get lost. I wanted to do some hikes. I wanted to do some multi-day hikes, and particularly I wanted to do one called Maroon Bells 4-Pass Loop. If you don't know anything about it, look it up. And Maroon Bells is right outside of Aspen. It's basically Aspen. And it is one of the most iconic shots in terms of mountain scenes. And it's really cool because the most iconic place is right there at the trailhead. So if you can get there, it's instantly beautiful. But anyway, they have this 4-pass loop that goes over 4 different mountain passes. And each one of those are, I don't know, somewhere around 12,000 feet, 12.5, something like that. And so it's about 30 plus miles. And so I got my backpack, I got my bear canister full of food and, all the things, and
Yeah.
took off. And I'm on this trail, and it was really, really difficult for me to do because, like I said, I live in Omaha, and I'm not used to that. And so I remember very distinctly. It's like day 2, 3, 4. I can't remember what day it was, but I was sitting there the night before the final push because I knew I wanted to finish the next day, but I also knew I had like
A long way.
a long way. I had like 19 miles,
Yeah.
something like crazy like that. And I thought, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it. It's okay. I had all my stuff if I needed a camp, but anyway, so I'm there and I'm looking up at these mountains. The sun's going down, and I remember just sort of, you know, I don't know, this may sound weird, but just sort of talking to the mountains. And I was like, all right, tomorrow's a big day, and I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your help I don't know what I'm up against. I don't know what's left. I don't know what's in front of me. And so I could use any help that you guys could give me, and I don't know, it was just a thing. And they did not say anything back to me. Don't worry. I'm not losing my mind. But they did kind of speak in a way. And what they said was very discouraging to me because it's almost like if they could speak audibly, it's almost like the mountain said, yeah, we're not concerned about you. We don't really care about you. We were here long before you ever got here, and we will be here long after you're gone. So
Good luck.
you could die tomorrow, and it's not going to affect us at all. You could fall off one of these cliffs, and we're not going to blink, right? And it was just like this feeling of smallness that I've never felt before. Not in that way, not in that intensity. And so that got me thinking, obviously, about the brevity of life and how we're really here for a short amount of time, and what can we do to actually leave a legacy that lasts more than just the 60, 70, 80, 90 years that we're going to be here on this earth. And so that whole next day, as I was hiking, I just, was running through all of these things about how marriages is one of those things. Our marriages can be one of those lasting legacies that even long after we're gone, people can be like, oh yeah, like, man, Robert and Shelly, their marriage they had, that was something unique. That was something special, so that we could still be making impacts with our kids and our grandkids and other people just for years and years and years after we're gone. And so I'm thinking about how marriages are a lot like mountains. Now, when you're hiking by yourself in the middle of nowhere, you got a lot of time to think, and you got a lot of time to be in your head. And so, man, I'm running through all of these metaphors and analogies about how mountains are like marriages, or sorry, marriages are like mountains. So track with me here. First off, the really strong ones can outlast even physical life. That's what I just said. Like, if you have a really strong marriage, that can outlast both of your physical lives.
Right.
They can be seen from miles away. A strong marriage, just like a mountain, like you can spot it. People can see it from a mile away. They don't. Yeah, they don't necessarily know why,
right?
But they're like, man, there's something about that couple. I mean, they're
Right.
You might call them a power couple or whatever it is. There's like they've got something, they understand something, they know something that we probably would like to know. The beautiful ones are really majestic, even iconic. Think about some of the mountains that you see. You could just tell what mountain it is just on the shape, just the silhouette, right? Sort of like Maroon Bells. It's got a certain silhouette.
Right.
And I could see that thing anywhere in any way, and I would be able to tell, oh, that's Maroon Bells, because it's just iconic. And the really unique mountains attract people. Almost the more unique it is, the more it attraction it is. Same way with marriages. The really unique ones, they're attractive. People want to check it out. Like, what is that all about? Now, get this. If you string several mountains together, you know what that's called?
No.
It's called a mountain range.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Yeah.
Yeah, you did know that.
I did know that.
And mountain ranges can create landmarks, national landmarks.
Yeah, they do.
Like destination spots. Just think the Rockies,
Right.
the Himalayas,
The Tetons.
yeah, the Alps,
Yeah.
right? If you string enough mountains together, you get a mountain range, which can be an attraction in and of itself. And similarly, if you string enough healthy marriages together, it becomes something that can actually be a destination for people. And so I'm thinking through this all along, you know, hiking up and down these mountains. And it's not only how marriages are similar to mountains, it's the actual traversing of the mountain itself is very similar to marriage. If you guys are listening to this and you're married, which we assume you are, you're going to understand this. So obviously there's the uphill,
Right.
there's the downhill. And if you've ever been on one of these, you know, extended hikes, you learn very quickly both of those are difficult.
Yeah, they actually are.
Yeah, because you think, oh, uphill is the hard part. Downhill is where we get to rest.
Yeah.
No,
No.
man. Like you're using different muscles
Right.
and stuff when you're going downhill, and it's every bit as difficult, sometimes more, than going uphill.
Yeah.
And so then there's the switchbacks. So if you're not familiar, switchbacks or you can't just walk straight up the side of a mountain. I mean, we're not mountain goats, okay? And so we have to like take these long journeys back and forth around the side of the mountain that slowly increase. Well, in marriages, don't you feel like you take switchbacks a lot?
Yeah.
Like you just feel like we were just here. We just covered this, right? Or we're
Right.
arguing about this again. Like we were, you know,
They're
and
just,
so
yeah.
you're just constantly kind of rehashing the same terrain. There's this thing also, especially when you're going uphill, you kind of get myopic, which is you get focused on what's right in front of you. And so if it's very steep, then you're literally like just looking at the ground in front of you, and you lose sight of the bigger picture, and it's super easy to get off the trail. That happened to me several
Oh, yeah.
times on this particular journey, and it was sort of like you have to backtrack now to find the trail again.
Right.
But also the payoff. I mean, when you reach the top of these mountains, it's just, I mean, you can see for days, and if the weather cooperates, it's just magnificent. The view at the summit. And man, same way with marriage. Like if you can get to some of these summit moments in marriage, that's where the best views are. And yeah, so that's kind of the basis of where Marriage Basecamp started.
And we're all on a trail, like we've said, and we're all on very similar trails because we all typically struggle with the same things in marriage and argue about the same things. That's one thing we found out a lot is people tend to, well, I think Satan tends to lie to people in that you are struggling with this. Nobody else struggles with this in their marriage, just you, which makes people feel isolated. And the truth is, we really all are on the same trail, struggling with the same things, on the same switchbacks, on the same, like,
Yeah.
they're all very similar. So yeah. So this is why we started this podcast, just to be a friend on the journey, offering encouragement and biblical truth and just tools that actually work. Look, and we're not experts standing, you know, at the very top yelling down. We're fellow hikers, like we said, on the trail with you, just maybe a little further up the trail, maybe calling back saying, hey, here's what helped us. Put your hand here, foot here. Here's how to climb this part. And yeah, so we're going to be sharing stories, inviting some guests, tackling some topics, and just maybe helping couples prepare, repair, and grow stronger together would be the goal.
Yeah. It would be very helpful sometimes to have someone to help guide.
It makes you feel like you're not crazy.
Yeah.
And it's very encouraging to hear another couple say, "Oh, I I thought we were the only ones who dealt with that." And I think we've said this a lot in like marriage conferences, that we show you our scars so that you have hope for
That your wounds could
will heal. Yeah. So
Remind me, we'll have to tell everybody at some point my encounter with two mountain
oh
goats.
yeah. I was gonna bring that up when you were talking, but
That's for another time. We'll have to work that in another
that's
time.
a good one.
So what we want to try to do is each episode give you guys some kind of summit challenge. And that's just kind of a thing that you can do together in order to help yourselves reach the summit. And so every episode, we're going to try to give you this challenge, just a small step to take with your spouse to help you climb together. So as a disclaimer, let me say this first. I absolutely hate the 5-year question. And what I mean by that is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or where do you see the church in 5 years? Or I absolutely hate that question. I always have. And here's why. Because my personality, when I'm asked that, I feel every bit of weight and pressure and expectations for the next 5 years immediately in that moment right then. And it's like I have to, I've got to know what I'm going to do 16 months from now, and then 24 months from now, and then 48 months. You know what I mean? I feel it.
Because I don't feel that way.
You don't. I do. I feel every bit of that pressure. So, disclaimer, I hate the question. Now, that said, here's your summit challenge for this week. Get with your spouse and ask yourselves, hey, what do we want our marriage to look like in 5 years?
But this is also, we've shown the picture, we've done some marriage stuff of the old couple jumping on the bed.
Yeah.
That's what's in my head. Like, a picture of what you want your marriage to look like in 5 years, or, in this question today, it's 5 years.
Because we doubt it's that really silent couple at the restaurant who's not talking to each other. We doubt that that's your goal if you're listening to this. So get with your spouse, maybe sit down at home if there's no kids around, or go out somewhere where it's quiet and you can talk about this, and just ask, hey, what do we want our marriage to look like in 5 years? And don't rush it. Actually take time, dream about it. Think, what could it look like? Well, and I'm talking everything's on the table, right? Like even down to maybe it's about how you guys communicate. And so maybe the goal in 5 years is we don't want, the cops called on us every time we argue. That's a great goal. Or we don't want to yell at each other instantly when we start communicating. Or maybe it's where you live. Maybe you live 3 doors down from your in-laws, and the best thing you can do is move
far away.
We've told couples that before.
We have, yes.
Like the first chance you get, you need to move.
And a couple of them have done that.
Yeah.
And their marriages are thriving because of that.
Now, I will say this. We haven't told every couple that.
No, it's only been a few. But
like there are some couples who they could live in the same home with their in-laws and it works somehow. But not everybody. Not every couple can do that, nor should they do that.
Right.
And so, that's probably just a general don't do that. We'll just say, we'll make that a blanket statement.
Yeah.
Maybe next door. Definitely.
Next door.
Yeah. It might be, we want to start doing something fun together. Like we realize we don't share a hobby. We don't do anything fun. Listen, I'll be honest. Yeah. Like we've had the pickleball conversation. We
still could do pickleball. I'm just saying.
Is this something we need to do together?
Yeah.
We've, we did this, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, we realized,
We did an assessment.
we realized we didn't have any of the same hobbies.
No, or leisure activities, I think is what it was
Yeah.
called.
That's what Prepare and Rich calls them.
Yeah.
And then that led to the question of, okay, does that mean we don't like doing the same things? Or does
Right.
that mean because we have 4 kids,
And they were small at the time.
4 smaller kids, that we actually don't
We still,
ever
yeah.
get to do anything together?
Right.
And so we ended up buying
Road bikes?
road bikes. I mean, like bicycles.
Yeah.
That I wish we'd have bought motorcycles. That would have been way cooler.
Oh. Oh, Lord.
I can see myself riding a
Yeah, not
motorcycle. I
me.
think I could pull that off.
Nah, not me.
Anyway, we got
Okay.
bicycles, the kind where
Yes.
you are the motor. And then we started riding together, and,
Yeah.
and that's fun, But yeah, so maybe your goal is we just want to start doing something that we both like together. So whatever it is, where do we want our marriage to be in 5 years? It's very important. Don't compare yourself to anybody else you know. Don't say, we want to be like Tim and Stacy. No. Your marriage. Like, where do you want your marriage to be in 5 years? And just dream about it. Just think about it and start small and
Yeah.
and just see where you both are at.
And I would say write it down. Maybe make some bullet point notes and describe to each other what kind of couple you want to become. And then just kind of walk that out. Like, okay, if this is what we want to do, this is what we want to have, then what are some things we can do to get there would be helpful, because things are going to get rocky. Every time we plan to do something, we're going to start doing this. Inevitably, something else happens where there's a roadblock. There's something happens where we can't do that, or
Right.
yeah. So know that those things are going to happen, and really just remember that base camp is where you're going to go back to. It's this list, these bullet points is a place you can fall back to say, okay, well, this is where we wanted to be. We're not on that trail. We need to go back to base camp, maybe repair some things, maybe get different gear, get some sort of training.
Yeah.
It's things you can just go back to, get more supplies, get the oxygen you're going to need for when you go up to more difficult terrain.
Yeah, because
So-
if anybody is listening to this and you also live in Nebraska, there is no oxygen at 12,000. Well,
No,
I mean,
well-
there is, but not what your body needs. There's not that much oxygen.
Right. Yeah.
I went on that trip in 2020, but I started planning that trip
Long.
like 2018.
Yes.
And so that was the where do I want to go conversation.
And we spent money to prepare you. So even like when we've planned, we were talking about,
Too much money, honestly.
well, I mean, like we talk about doing these things together as a couple and where you want to be. It might take some money,
Yeah.
investment financially.
Yeah. And all those times I did go out to Mount Crescent over in Iowa to practice
Right.
hiking with 50 pounds of gear on my back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. It takes work. It takes preparation. But if I wouldn't have done that, oh man, I'd have choked out on that first
Correct.
mountain pass, and I'd have come home quicker.
And if you had not bought the correct gear
Yeah.
and took all the heavy stuff, same thing. Like
Yeah.
you had to have the right gear.
Well, we're so glad that you guys joined us for our first episode. We kind of had an idea where we wanted to go with this, but we didn't know how it would end up. And so if you found this helpful, maybe share it with another couple. And I know we're just getting started here. We're hoping to have a lot of things to offer you guys over the next several episodes. But maybe just find another couple, share it with them, give them a little encouragement. And just remember, marriage is a climb, but you don't have to do it alone. And so meet us back here next time for our next episode. Just to give you a little teaser, next time we're going to talk about how we want your relationship to be hot. Hot. H-O-T.
HOTTOGO.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that was a cheerleader.
That was way
Cheer.
back.
Yeah. Maybe that's another story. And what we mean by hot is we want your relationship to just be full of honesty, openness, and transparency. And so we're going to look at those roles and how important those are for a relationship. And so, you have anything else to add before we leave?
I don't think so.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Base Camp. From Genesis to Revelation, His love is the guide. Every vow, every moment, we lay down our pride. His mercy's the melody, our heart's the refrain. Through sunshine and shadow, our love will remain. This holy matrimony, love wrapped in grace. Honesty the cornerstone, openness embrace. Transparency's the power to make it through. Christ in the center, making all things new.